Hey, what's up, mafias? Welcome back to the commute. And in this video, I'm joined by Raj. He works as an iOS developer, and in this session, we'll be talking about how to get into iOS development, talk about getting hired as an iOS developer, and how to get freelance projects. So, of course, there'll be a lot to learn. Hopefully, guys really enjoy it. And if you did, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And for now, let's get started. When I start this podcast, I always ask this one question to everyone who comes on: how do you define stable life for yourselves?
Stable life for myself. Okay, I would say doing the work you love
Mm-hmm.
and helping out people
Mm-hmm.
to follow that same goal
Mm-hmm.
is what a stable life means to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I try to ask this question to everyone because I try to see what people are working for actually in their life because um usually people are working for money. Most people are working for money. Some people are working for freedom. That's why they become entrepreneurs in the longer run. And you escape the rat race of from a job to a freelance because you want more money and freedom with your time over in the longer run. And that's why I try to ask this question: how do you define stable life for yourself? And try to answer what do you actually value. So what do you think, what do you value more, freedom, money, something that inspires you to work and wake up every day?
I think the money is the first point. Like that's only what inspires everyone, and that's what keeps us running to pursue our goals, whatever. And money eventually buys us freedom as well. So obviously
True.
for money.
True, it's no shame in saying that because like I know it's a very you know not a lot of people would, it's a necessary evil. Money is a necessary evil, and
Yeah.
everybody wants it, but nobody wants to agree that they want money. And that's the problem. I guess we got to be truthful to ourselves that we want money, and that's the thing of how things will go ahead, I guess. So, like, what's your story? How do you get into iOS development? Because I've seen that a lot of people who just passed out from colleges, they go into like nowadays ML and AI. Before that, it was web and Web3 maybe, and this is how most of the development CS grads would go into. How do you get into iOS development, and how do you like come across the where whatever position you're working at right now?
Okay, so my journey is not just like I wanted to be an iOS developer and I just went into that iOS developer profession. The
Mm-hmm.
journey kind of started as a guy who wanted to just earn money in college days, and I did never started with a tech position or something. It was a marketing gig that
Mm-hmm.
made me kind of move into this mobile development journey. So in my college days, I was in my first year and second semester was ongoing,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a college fest going on, and I saw a banner, a
Mm-hmm.
company, a college alumni company itself only. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted some interns, and they
Mm-hmm.
were basically an educational startup, training people on how to create robot toys and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, where is money? I have to go there. So I went
Oh
there
yeah.
and I just told them like I want to intern with you guys. So
Mm-hmm.
they gave me a task like to sell a course of worth 10,000 rupees to
Mm-hmm.
at least 2 3 people, and you get the internship.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, without thinking, also I just kind of jumped into that task, but I knew that this is going to be a tough thing because selling a 10,000 course and in getting a result instantly within 2 days is a difficult thing. So I told them that I tried, but I did not get any contacts or something. But let me try, uh, do some workshop with my college or something that
Mm-hmm.
can help you out and bring in people for your course. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of did a workshop in my college and helped them to get to know about like how to create apps, how to create these robots and all. So
Mm-hmm.
from there, I got my commission, like whatever they earned. So
Mm-hmm.
from there, I also come to know that like these guys teach Android development and mobile development and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I did these sales a little bit of more, like a good number
Mm-hmm.
of sales for them. And I told them I want to learn this mobile development. So they said, yeah, sure, we'll help you with that. So they kind of tutored me on Android development, basically how to create Android apps.
Mm-hmm.
Since the workshop was also on Android apps for our college, so that's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing I learned about, but in free. So from there, this knack of mobile development got started.
Mhm.
But as a college kid, we all know that we all were intrigued by Apple products.
Mhm. Mhm.
iPhone and all was a
Mhm.
big luxury, and still is it's a luxury in India.
Mhm.
So I was seeing a lot their CEOs and founders using Macs. So
Mhm.
I was like, I want a Mac as well.
Mhm.
So uh, from there, I kind of had this mobile development knowledge, and I was seeing them designing stuff on Mac using some softwares. I guess Photoshop, kind of maybe some UI UX tool. I guess back then there was no Figma, but some other tools that were
Mhm.
getting used.
Mhm.
So there was a hackathon as well coming in my college. It was a in the national hackathon, I would say,
Mhm.
Smart India Hackathon.
Yeah, yeah.
So for that we were submitting solutions, and also I wanted to submit solutions that were better than other people.
Mhm.
So we tried to uh, give UI UX designs directly as a solution, like what would be the solution if we implemented it and showed it to the people.
Mhm.
So I started designing on a normal laptop that I had, and you know those helped us kind of get a position and participation at a national level hackathon. We
Mhm.
actually got to compete in the grand finale of Smart India Hackathon.
Mhm.
So the love for designing started that because my designs were working out, and it helped us get selected on a national level. So from that point of view, I explored more into designing part, and came to know like what good design tools are there.
Mhm.
And since I saw the people at the startup that I was interning at were using that particular kind of software that is known as Sketch now.
Mhm.
So I wanted a Mac, and I pressured my parents and all to give me a Mac, give me a Mac, so
Mhm.
I can buy this software. So the moment I got the Mac from my parents,
Mhm.
I instantly told them like to give me 4,000 rupees more. Like back then it was costing $44,
Mhm.
and it was a student plan. So I told them like I want this license. So they
Mhm.
bought me that license as well, and I started to do UX and UI designing stuff.
Mhm.
Just go whatsoever, whatever you want to create, an app
Mhm.
idea or something like that way.
Mhm.
From that, my
Mhm.
designing journey actually started. I had mobile development, but I kept it on site. Like I had the Android development knowledge, but more
Mhm.
I was into designing because of the software I bought.
Mhm.
And after that, I started to look for design internships. I kept
Mhm.
mobile development on site,
Mhm.
and there I worked for a design centric tech startup, and there I kind of learned about what is this product designing venture, and
Mhm.
what is all about mobile development, web development, how this design sprint is about, what is a sprint, what is agile, and all those kind of product development methodologies. So there I found some people working on iOS apps.
Mhm.
They had a Mac, I also had a Mac, and there was a plan like whenever I buy a Mac, I might try to do work on iOS apps or something. So I
Mhm.
saw them creating apps, and they were using that a thing called as storyboards. It's still there
Mhm.
in UI kit. I'll come
Mhm.
to that later. So that was something like designing as well, like how you drag and drop text on a mobile artboard or something. It was similar to that. So I
Mhm.
kind of got intrigued by that, and I thought I have a Mac, and why cannot I try this at home? So I
Mhm.
just ventured into iOS development after this product design internship got over,
Mhm.
and I came to know, okay, this is cool, but I just kept it on side because I was in college. I was still experimenting, so I didn't wanted to confirm this as the thing I wanted to work on. I
Mhm.
ventured into product design till my college ended. I worked for a startup called as Roti Bank. So
Mhm.
that was a college internship. There
Mhm.
I came across cross-platform development. So I knew Android development, and I also knew iOS development as well, a bit of it, since I
Mhm.
was experimenting from what I learned at those product design startup.
Mhm.
And after that, the task was given us to create a Flutter app basically,
Mhm.
and no one had a Mac. I had Mac in my team. We were a team of 7 people,
Mhm. Mhm.
and no one knew iOS development. Luckily, I had
Mhm.
known about iOS development, but I never released an app.
Mhm.
So then came the time to kind of release that app that we made for them, Roti Bank.
Mhm.
And yeah, we released it, and I kind of learned about this iOS release thing, how to
Mhm.
release an iOS app, how to build an iOS app,
Mhm.
and how to compile that. We were like, since we were using this Flutter framework, so
Mhm.
I was able to run only because I had a Mac, because no one can run that Flutter app on iOS app on a Windows laptop. So
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
there, I came to know what is this export, what is this IDE, and all more into briefly.
Mhm.
And after like this internship got over, and I was near my graduation, and then COVID started. So I was finalized that I want to go into iOS development for sure, because it is design centric. The
Mhm.
ecosystem is great, because
Mhm.
the same code you write, you use the same language for different platforms as well. That
Mhm.
is Swift language for Mac OS, iOS, Watch OS,
Mhm.
and now Vision OS as well.
Mhm.
So that was a cool thing that made me kind of pick iOS development as my career choice.
Mhm.
And once I graduated, I got my first internship. Like generally, people get placed with a job itself in college, but I
Mhm.
actually never sat for the college placements. I never wanted to actually.
Mhm.
I took a risk.
Mhm.
It's fine. Like taking a risk was fine for me.
Mhm.
But uh, it obviously come with some setbacks as well. So I got
Mhm.
an internship for with this app startup as well. So there I kind of worked on their iOS app itself. I came
Mhm.
to know, and I was alone
Mhm.
like the track, because it was COVID-19, and I had a senior, but he was actually diagnosed with COVID-19. So whatever tasks were given to me, I had to learn it on myself by myself, and
Mhm.
present it. So it was a tough thing during that time.
Mhm.
So I worked with them for 3 months,
Mhm.
and I also got contacted with COVID, and my internship got over.
Mhm.
So everything went at a pause. Like whatever I had learned, and everything was at a pause.
Mhm.
And 2021 came, and then basically I wanted to do something. I had the hunger of making something,
Mhm.
and I just gave myself 1 month. I want to make some app or something, and I made
Mhm.
one app. I
Mhm.
learned about proper app development stuff, Swift UI and all, and
Mhm.
ventured into creating one app that is called Mini Code. It is live on the App Store, I guess, but it's
Mhm.
still now like in a defunct stage, but it is still on the App Store at the moment.
Mhm.
And after making that app, I kind of got a lot of appreciation,
Mhm.
tweets, likes, and all on my LinkedIn and Twitter. So
Mhm.
I was happy enough, and that
Mhm.
was my final foundation. Like, yes, this is it.
Mhm.
iOS development is my career choice for now.
Mhm.
This is how my journey of iOS development came into picture.
Mhm. I've seen this because I have like many kind of 3 to 4 takeaways from your journey as well, because this is a consistent theme that I've seen with many app developers, that they don't actually go into app development just because they want to. They somehow accidentally come upon it, and same goes for Android, same goes for iOS, I guess. And they're either some other kind of developer, and they don't like the way it is being the development environment is there, so they try different things and come across app development in general. Same goes for me. I started off as a web developer, then I got into game development, and then I realized I can make games for Android as well. That's why I got into Android development. I guess you started off a UI UX, and then you come across iOS because the theme of design in iOS is really really good, and I appreciate that because I've seen that it's very difficult to produce an Android and a Windows app. It's very difficult to sync those two, but in iOS, that's one of the most beautiful things. Their ecosystem is really really great, and yeah, one thing more that you told about, like you had UI UX as your career choice, then you switched to iOS development in general. Did you like ever regret doing that in general? Because I want to ask, like UI UX is a very different field. iOS is a very different field. One has a lot of um, psychology involved. Other has a lot of thinking involved in a mindful way. So, did you ever think of going back to UX, or like how did you pass these two?
I never regret going back, going to
Mm-hmm.
UI UX or something, because that's a tool set, that's a skill set that I've brought into my iOS development. So I
Mm-hmm.
always like, even in my free time, I do UI UX stuff, like create a
Mm-hmm.
simple app, design it, and
Mm-hmm.
combine my app knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
development skills, and make an app. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I do. So I don't regret it ever, because I have
Mm-hmm.
that skill set along with me,
Mm-hmm.
in dedicated. Because what I thought is, like, designing is a tool I have, app
Mm-hmm.
development is another tool. Both
Mm-hmm.
of them combined will make me to create a thing,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just be one part of it. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't regret it, to be honest, because
Mm-hmm.
it helps me to create an app as well as design the app. So
Mm-hmm.
never
Mm-hmm.
regret it.
I've seen this, that this is a very amazing theme that people ask, like I might want to master one particular skill and go into that 100%, but rather I would say master one, maybe iOS, maybe Android, whatever you choose. Pick your poison here. And like rest of the things, have a little bit of involvement around UI UX, have a little bit of involvement around product management in general, because
Yeah.
I've seen if you're a little bit good at those as well, it will eventually help you leverage your career in a very big manner. And I think this is, I think so, what Naval Ravikant calls specified knowledge, because it is gained through experience, not by learning through a book. Because you are trying to make a neural network of UI UX, product management, iOS development, Android development, Mac OS apps. So there's a whole new form of a skill set that might not be available to any other developer. So that's one of the biggest key takeaways, if you want anyone wants to take away that. Um, by the way, you develop your own apps. I've seen a little bit of your LinkedIn profile. You have apps released in the public right now. Did they happen to boost your career in the longer run, or how did they play a part in your career right now?
To be honest, they haven't boosted my career or something, but yeah, it has a place in my resume, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people ask what you have created
Mm-hmm.
for your own sake.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to answer that question to them, so I
Mm-hmm.
have made these two apps. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't boosted my career, because
Mm-hmm.
I have never marketed those apps or something. It's just like for
Mm-hmm.
the purpose to create something.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, like, whatever jobs that I've got, and
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly I went via reference, and some of them came to me by choice, and
Mm-hmm.
I applied for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they never boosted my career, but yeah, they kind of helped me to connect with some great minds and
Mm-hmm.
interact with them. That's for sure, but not for the
Mm-hmm.
career or job related purpose. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've not released my own app as of now, but I want to release it, maybe an app in this year, definitely. One thing that I've seen is that when I try to say that I have an app, being maybe I'll release it in next month, let's just say, an interviewer always has a thing in the back of his mind that he can build a product from scratch. I think so that plays a very big part into thinking if this developer or this designer is actually really really good or not. Because if you can build a product from scratch and actually market it well, I think so you'll eventually become an entrepreneur in the longer run. And that's a very big skill set to have, because not everyone has that kind of skill. That's what I think, at least. Yeah, this is my thing. So, like, how do you, if someone wants to get into iOS development, right? Wants to get into iOS development journey, or you can say that I just passed out from third year, fourth year. I want to get into the industry and understand iOS. How can I do so?
Okay, so the first thing is you have to invest 2 lakh rupees for sure, because you have to buy a Mac. Without a Mac, it's not possible that you can ship an iOS app or
True,
something.
true, true.
And if that app has some camera related function, or you want to test it, you need to have an iPhone as well. So a Mac
Mm-hmm.
costs 1 lakh rupees, and an iPhone almost costs 1 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
So you have to
You
do
can
an
you
investment first.
you can buy a refurbished iPhone if you want, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
That is true. But generally everyone starts an investment for a fresh thing and not for
Yeah.
a second hand thing.
True. True.
So yeah, so first of all, have a Mac and have an iPhone. And getting started, I would say there are a lot of like at my time, there were two, three things that were very known, well known to learn for iOS development. One was it was done by a same person itself only. His name
Mm-hmm.
is Paul Hudson. He runs a website
Mm-hmm.
called Hacking with Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So he had created two challenges
Mm-hmm.
around 2019 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I took part in those challenges. That was like a 100 days of code challenge. So one challenge was called as 100 days of Swift, and
Mm-hmm.
one challenge was known as 100 days of Swift UI.
Mm-hmm.
So my during my time when I started picking up during those internship days,
Mm-hmm.
so there was Swift and UI Kit. UI Kit is a
Mm-hmm.
framework that helps to create UI user interfaces for your
Mm-hmm.
iOS app. Basically, it's a UI
Mm-hmm.
framework.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with 100 days of Swift, and in 15 days you learn about what is the Swift programming language, what
Mm-hmm.
features it has, and more in depth of the language.
Mm-hmm.
And then day by day you come across a project and a particular thing of the UI kit framework. Let's say you want to learn about list creating list. So
Mm-hmm.
it's known as a UI table view. So you learn about a UI table view in day one,
Mm-hmm.
and you go through those 90 days, 85 days about
Mm-hmm.
learning different kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you challenge yourself. There are challenges as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of add a debounce to a text field or something like that. How can I do that? That's a part of a challenge in that 100 days as well. So you learn
Mm-hmm.
about that. Every day you pick up a challenge, you learn about something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the course offered. And it was a free course.
Mm-hmm.
And then similarly, it was with Swift UI. Swift UI was released in 2019. The framework that is a declarative UI framework by Apple. So it's made on top of
Mm-hmm.
UI Kit, I would say, making things much easier.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, during my time, like Swift UI just got started, and almost every apps were on UI Kit.
Mm-hmm.
So my focus was more into learning UI Kit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to 2025, even Apple recommends that the best way to get started with creating iOS apps is with Swift and Swift UI.
Mm-hmm.
They openly say. So now, even Apple has kind of released a lot of documentation, tutorials, and pathways. It's called as pathways on the developer website. So you can learn iOS about iOS development, creating an iOS app,
Mm-hmm.
learning about animations, user interfaces, networking, and all from those things as well. So I think these are such places to get started, and create a profile on Twitter and create a profile on LinkedIn and follow the hashtags of iOS development, Swift
Mm-hmm.
UI, and all. So you'll come to know about all these blogs, what to learn about roadmaps and all.
Mm-hmm.
So now it has been, kind of diversified as well about how you
Mm-hmm.
want to come into iOS development.
Mm-hmm. Um, I've seen this trend with iOS development. I'm so jealous of this thing that somehow iOS have very good understanding of design as compared to Android, and as it's I think so very native of how iOS is built. That's
Yeah.
why iOS developers tend to be really good designers as well. But in Android, I think so they become better at logic rather than designers because they have a very nuanced way to write a lot of code that has already been managed in iOS by the Apple itself. So I guess this is something. Other than that, yeah, as you said, 100 days of iOS. That's something interesting to
100 days
see.
of Swift and Swift UI.
Okay, 100 days of Swift AI. I would love to start 100 days of Android if I could. But yeah, that seems interesting too. Like in general, when you think iOS development industry in general, what do you think would be the trend right now in the upcoming 5 to 6 years from now? What do you think? Where do you think iOS is headed?
Quite a difficult question to answer,
Mm-hmm.
as I consider still myself as learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we would be using Swift UI more and more
Mm-hmm.
past iOS 22 or something, I would say.
Mhm.
UI kit still would be in use, but I think a lot of apps would be migrating to
Mhm.
building apps from scratch in from Swift UI. Maybe that could
Mhm.
be a possibility in 5 years.
Mhm.
People still make app using Swift UI, but there are certain things like collection views and all,
Mhm.
like for a live streaming app or something. If you want to make, I think Swift UI is not picked up or something. For
Mhm.
and there are a lot of memory management issues also being
Mhm.
noticed in Swift UI. So people are not picking up completely Swift UI. They are using it
Mhm.
piece by piece in their apps. But
Mhm.
after, I guess, iOS 22 or something, I see Swift UI being an MVP or something for sure. Like
Mhm.
taking dethroning UIKit framework, I guess it's tough, but surely it will
Mhm.
make its place for sure, because we
Mhm.
use, like, as a developer, I've seen the framework is growing. There are a lot of new APIs coming.
Mhm.
Kind of has got stabilized from iOS 16, 17 onwards. You can definitely make an app, but uh, I still
Mhm.
think like SwiftUI will get better soon in
Mhm.
5 years.
Mhm.
And I there would be some Vision OS foldable iPhones coming. That's
Mhm.
what the rumors say. So
Mhm.
ecosystem might be kind of changing
Mhm.
up and turning up a bit.
Mhm.
And there's Apple Intelligence as well,
Mhm.
criticized, but I hope we
Mhm.
see them getting better soon. That's
Mhm.
what my vision is of iOS and
Mhm.
Apple platform development.
Mhm. I'm quite positive at iOS myself because I've seen that what Apple can do, and they have built amazing products. When it comes to, I really like Mac. I do not know about iPhone in general, but I really like Macs, and I think so. They have a very good environment in the longer run, and I think so. They'll be building a lot of products that other people will be adapting to, and we will see more of this VR OS, as you said, Vision OS stuff in the public nowadays. I'm not so sure if we are seeing VR or maybe AR, but let's see how it turns out in the 5 years. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Drawing a kind of a comparison from Android to iOS here, as you said, UI kit being replaced by Swift UI. Same is happening in the Android industry where XML is being switched by Compose. So these two are very drawing very close to each other, and I'm seeing that Google is also pushing nowadays Compose as compared to XML that was previously held. So this is something I am positive as well, that we are seeing a lot of declarative UI
yeah.
in the upcoming future. That would be
And
great.
I've heard Compose is a backward compatible as well.
Yeah,
I assume.
yeah, it
So
is.
yeah, it's not with the case of Swift UI. Like,
Oh.
if you want stabilize some better APIs, you have to be in iOS 17 version. And there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of apps supporting iOS 15, iOS 14. There's
Mm-hmm.
Swift UI doesn't help you at all. It does
Mm-hmm.
help you for creating static views and all, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't give you those Power Pack production ready apps
Mm-hmm.
helpers.
Mm-hmm.
So it has started to
Mm-hmm.
be seen, like from iOS 17, you get a lot of Power Packs, but
Mm-hmm.
let's see. I don't think so. It will completely replace UI Kit,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a chance like people will be positive, like the older developers, experienced developers, they might say like you can use
Mm-hmm.
Swift UI now. Back in
Mm-hmm.
my days, I couldn't. I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be the answer to that.
Mm-hmm. I think this comes to how I think so Apple wants to push their products, because
Yeah,
I don't think they want to give the backward compatibility, because in general it doesn't motivate the developers as well as the customers to buy newer and better products.
yeah, yeah,
So I think this is in their business logic of how
yeah,
they are doing it. But
yeah,
let's see. Other than that, I just wanted to ask, like, I've seen a lot of AI being pushed nowadays, right? In our AI is involved in every industry.
yeah.
So do you use a lot of AI while you're developing or designing in your day to day?
Yeah, I do use some tools that help me kind of
Mm-hmm.
a little easy at work. One of them is Windsurf. I use it for code completion basically.
Mm-hmm.
That has even chat the different
Suggestive.
LLMs I
Okay.
want to use. That is Claude or even Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
do use those tools
Mm-hmm.
basically,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of help me out to assist my development. Assisted coding, I would say, they help me for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any specific like AI use cases like that you use? For example, let's just say UI UX or something like that. You have very somehow used AI to leverage a UI UX thing somewhere.
I have come across some tools, but I haven't got any results or something that make
Mm-hmm.
me say that AI assisted designing and all is cool at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I generally use AI just for summarizing stuff, maybe
Mm-hmm.
helping out me what is this new thing,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of it has replaced stuff to like people used to say like, hey, okay, let's Google this and find it out. Now people
Mm-hmm.
say let's ask Chat GPT.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been replaced. So previously people kind of used to Google a lot. Now they
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Agree. Um. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about like UI UX and freelancing in general and the your contracts and stuff that you have been part of, right? How do you let's just say I want to become a freelancer. I want to do contracts. I don't want to be a full time employee somewhere. I want to work in multiple companies at the same time. How do you go around doing that?
Okay. Uh, I actually never got freelancing by applying as a freelancer,
Mm-hmm.
or rather, of the most of the work came as in
Mm-hmm.
being on Twitter and LinkedIn, having
Mm-hmm.
some contacts, connections, referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Like generally, I kind of interact with people on Twitter or something and
Mm-hmm.
make a friendship with them or something. And from
Mm-hmm.
them, they ask me like, "Hey, there's a contact. Someone wants to create an app or something like that way."
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I kind of got one contract and another two contracts that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I got them via like just I was designing something on Twitter and someone messaged me, "Hey, we like your design. Would
Mm-hmm.
you like to work on such thing for
Mm-hmm.
us?" Like that way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I kind of got some contracts. To be honest, like never applied for it. I
Mm-hmm.
receive a lot of messages on LinkedIn like, "How did you get contract? I want to." My answer
Mm-hmm.
to them is just whatever you are building, whatever you are creating, just post it on LinkedIn, Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Someone would be there to message you out, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a nice beginning as a partnership or something to learn, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe a start to your freelancing journey.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah.
I think most of the this is what I called generated luck, where you just go around messing around and making a lot of noise, and somehow luck arrives to you. You don't have to. This is not blind luck. You had just do the things. You hop around a lot, and things just arrive to you. I guess this is a skill in itself, because not everyone is like most of them are building apps. Most of them are doing stuff, but they're not posting it online. Other people are not even building apps. They're just okay with their job, right? So if you are there on Twitter, on LinkedIn, posting a lot of stuff online and showcasing your skill, I think so it's a very good leverage to that a good amount of responsible and really good noticeable people will actually notice you and give you some kind of a part of their luck, so that you can maybe become a contractor or freelancer and maybe earn a lot of money in the longer run. That's what I'm thinking, at least. But yeah, one more thing I just wanted to ask, like in freelancing, in contract, in general, I think so communication is the biggest part of this journey, right? As compared to just development, because you're trying to actually sell your skill more often. So, do you have any key takeaways or key points, key tips and tricks that you want to share while somebody is trying to get into freelance or contract?
uh, Actually, I haven't been like much of a freelancing, like I did jobs or something.
Mm-hmm.
During my job hunting, I used to kind of do this freelancing stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a dedicated advisor or something, but if you want to be into freelancing, it's just like do your work well, and
Mm-hmm.
just I would say just be proper in your communication. Be have give clarity to your client, whoever you are working with, and give them good results. That's the basic I can say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of want to go on a tangent here, and I kind of want to ask about your personal apps. So, let me know, like, how many apps have you released as of now, and do you plan to release more in the upcoming future?
Yeah, I definitely want to release more. Like I have two apps on the App Store
Mm-hmm.
uh, that have been to the App Store. To be honest, I would say I have
Mm-hmm.
some apps that have not been to the App Store, even though I've created names and everything is ready. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that I had some perfection and the fear of perfection
Mm-hmm.
and the fear of shipping that thing because
Mm-hmm.
I since the design thing was when I was doing my design internship and all like design
Mm-hmm.
is meant to be a perfect design, a good design. So I
Mm-hmm.
was not able to produce it for my app, so I never shipped those apps. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, I shipped an app just a week back, so that
Mm-hmm.
has kind of given me my uh, confidence of it. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say like I really want to ship some more apps as well. Currently, I have two apps on the App Store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have any key takeaways to someone who wants to release their apps?
uh, just release the app, just make the app, just comply to the App Store review guidelines or something that are for I guess even for Android, I would say, just
Mm-hmm.
comply with that.
Mm-hmm.
Come with a normal UI design,
Mm-hmm.
and if people say like, "Hey, this app already exists," so just say to them like, "Good, it exists, so there's demand." So
Mm-hmm.
it's a good thing for me. I'm giving the
Mm-hmm.
supply to the demand. So
Mm-hmm.
just be confident and just ship it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my idols of indie developer idols also tell to me. Like just ship
Mm-hmm.
the app
Mm-hmm.
because they also came across failures or like their app did not work well. They
Mm-hmm.
did not release it. They have
Mm-hmm.
also the same answer to give. Like just ship it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care whatever people say. You care
Mm-hmm.
about your idea. Even though it gets failed or something, it's still an app. You have learned something from creating that app. You learn from your mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
you eventually help you out in future.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I've seen this, argument. If you try to showcase your app to other people, hey, this app already exists in the market. Why do you want to release it now? So the easiest way to, of course, answer this would be, okay, and there's a demand. That's why it exists. So I'm serving the market. So this is a very good answer because it's when you start off, you don't want to create something very unique that does not have a market, and when you're creating something that does not have a market, you have to first create a market in itself. So
Yeah.
that's a very difficult task. We can't do that. Please, the easiest way to start is actually copy something that already works. So just find something that already works, copy it, give it a little bit of tangential work, maybe spin it around its head and release it. That's the easiest way to earn a lot of money. Start off. Then when you have a lot of money, try to create a market from scratch. That's the whole process, and the guide of being a developer. Yeah, these are all of my questions from my side. I kind of want to go on again on a tangent here and ask about your personal finances in general. Whenever you get your salary or a paycheck, how do you divide it in general? Like, is there a 80-20 rule, 50-20, 50-20-10 rule, something like that? What do you think is the differentiation of your salary in general?
Uh, the money that is meant to save has to be saved. The money that has been meant to use would be used for your personal needs, the
Mm-hmm.
things you want. So,
Mm-hmm.
want needed to save. That's how I kind of manage my finance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have any personal, investments in general? Like, for example, do you buy stocks? Do you buy things like these to, generate a lot of, beat the inflation? That's what I'm asking.
I haven't explored on that side to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
but SIP I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's everyone does that, so I also started that
Mm-hmm.
and generally rely on the fixed deposit, the safest way. of
Mm-hmm.
assurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing
Of
for the
course.
personal finance.
Of course, of course. Not everyone is interested in stock market.
Mhm.
Not everyone is buying stock, but
Yeah.
that's true. It's interesting for some people. They try to explore it. They go into it. It might not be interesting because they have other things on hand,
Yeah.
and yeah. Do you have insurances for yourself? Life insurance, health insurance, something like that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah, most of the people I've seen that a lot of people do not buy insurances because they depend upon their company's insurances, and that's not a good way to go about it. That's why I try to ask this thing: you have insurances or not? And yeah, these were some of the questions around personal finances that I wanted to ask. And yeah, thank you for actually coming on and giving advice. Before you part away, do you have any advice for me or someone who is watching? That would be great.
Just do the thing you love. If you want to do like make something, just get started with a small thing, with a small solution. Don't worry about the critics. Even if you go wrong, it's something you have to learn. So not to worry and just go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it. 100% true. Just try to have a lot of experiences and try to build something that you really, really like. And, the luck will play around in the right manner for you and things will arrive, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you again for joining in and thank you for your insights. I love that. I had a really good time. Have a conversation with you. And yeah, I'll see you around. Hello, hello. Hope you guys really enjoyed this session. And if you did, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. And of course, thank you for watching. And for now, this is it. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.